Greetings everyone, my name is Timotheus. We just finished our context search for Galatians 3:28. Now, we are about to start a context search for Ephesians 5:21. This verse says, submitting yourselves one toward another in the fear of God. Now this verse is commonly used for marriage, saying that the wife is to submit to the husband, which it does say in the next verse. But then they are also preaching that the husband is to submit to the wife in the same way. Now, to all of us who reads honestly, will become a little confused. We're hearing a lot of people use the scripture to say that both the husband and the wife come together as total equals, which is true, because both man and woman are equal as human beings. They are equal in value and they are equal in worth. That's a truth all the way across the border and will be forever a truth. And I will do a video on why that is a truth. It is a solid truth. However, when we read the scriptures, a lot of us would be, when you be honest about it, it doesn't sound like a mutual submission when you read it. When we walk away reading, it sounds like it's one submission, one-way submission. And it's always told that the wife is to submit. So how do we put together a mutual submission? But then we see here the real definition of this is a hierarchy, an order of authority. One is authority over the other. So when they preach these messages, or when you get into small groups or whatever, and they start to talk about marriage and say, okay, well, Ephesians 5:21 in marriage, both of them submit to each other, and then both of them makes all the decisions together, and when submitting to each other, you be kind, and you have you treat each other as one would treat your own self. You would treat them as the way that you would want to be treated, and you would submit to the needs of the other. All of this stuff is true. However, you cannot eliminate the sentence structure that we read, the clear message that comes at us very aggressively saying that there's a hierarchy, that there is a authority structure, and one is over the other. One is the authority and the responsible one, and one is to submit to the other. We see that in Ephesians, we see that in Titus, we see that in Colossians, we see that in 1 Peter, we see that over and over again in the scriptures. So what do we do with this? Because we're not idiots. None of us are idiots. You're not an idiot. I'm not stupid. When we sit here and we read the scripture, it comes at us strongly at this. But then when we hear people talk about it and actually try to preach a message on it, they speak about a formation that sounds very much like this. Like, it sounds like we're friends. And you know how friends are. There's not one over the other. We're partners. Well, when you work on when you partner with somebody, one is not the authority over the other. They use a lot of equality in their speech. Well, when you say equality, everybody backs away and says, well, yeah, it's equal, don't touch it. Don't touch the whole realm of equality, because nobody can ever say that one is greater than the other. Well, that's true. We already established that men and women are equal as humans, as humans, they equal in worth and they equal in value. So once we understand that and we know that, then we can have that set there and have it as a default. It structures everything. So from there, we start our journey to find out, how does this message, can we be satisfied with a message that lines up with what we read, so that we can walk away feeling at peace about this, because it's still confusing to what they say and what we read in the Bible. So we need to ask these questions. Is there an authority structure? A real authority structure? How should we look at this? How should we think about this? So let's begin our investigation of Ephesians 5:21 to see the context and the meaning of that verse. Does this verse really mean of a submitting to one's needs, submitting to each other's needs? Does it mean that it's a esteeming someone else over oneself? Does it have this meaning, or is it a submission to an authority that it's talking about? Let's start the investigation and see what we can find.